Good morning, my friend. Nurse Mary here, helping you on your journey to better health. And today I want to talk to you about Lyme's disease. Lyme's disease is something we struggle with here in the Ozarks. And as I did some research on it, I was really fascinated with what I learned. And so I want to share some of that with you. Today we're going to talk about tick safety. This is something we did a little presentation for Price Cutter. And so after the presentation, I wanted to go ahead and share that same information with you. So tick safety. There are several types of ticks in Missouri. Even the Lone Star tick, which is normally in Texas, has made its way up here. And then we have the dog tick and the black-legged tick. And actually there's multiple species of ticks. But one of the things that was fascinating to me as I learned was about the bullseye rash. And some tick bites have a very distinctive rash pattern. It's the classic bullseye of Lyme's disease. It doesn't always mean that you have Lyme's disease, but you have a higher chance of that particular tick carrying Lyme's disease. But what's really interesting is the reason it is a bullseye is because that tick releases what's called a spirochete. And it's an organism that goes into the body in a corkscrew effect as it drills into your body and enters the entire body. It doesn't always mean you're going to get Lyme's disease, but the likelihood increases with the bullseye rash. They drill into the system and they cause autoimmune type symptoms. It's important if you have one of these rashes to go to your doctor and ask for a round of antibiotics. The spirochete tick from the tick builds up in your system. So if you get a Lyme's disease test when you first have the bullseye rash, chances are it will be negative because the spirochetes, they multiply the longer they're in your body. So the more it multiplies in your body, the more dangerous it can be. So if you get some antibiotics right away, it can help. But if you put this off several months, a round of antibiotics just might not be quite enough. So there are some herbal remedies that help. Some people have a tendency to get their Lyme's disease to go into remission, and then it'll come back once or twice a year. So they have to do the herbal regimen again. And there's some nutrition things you can do as well. So another tick-borne illness is called Southern Tick Associated Illness. And it has very similar symptoms to Lyme's disease, but it has more flu-like symptoms with fatigue and muscle pain and headache. And the Lone Star tick is more of a red rash without the spiral effect. The Lone Star tick can sometimes carry a disease called alpha-gal, which makes you sensitive to all mammal meats to a varying degree, which is really interesting. So a mammal is any animal that gives their baby suck. So like a cow, a goat, a pig, those are mammals. So you would be safe eating chicken and turkey, that type of thing. So one of the things I thought was interesting is I've got to talk to people that have had alpha-gal. And some of them can eat cured bacon, but that's the only mammal meat they can eat. Some of them will have just a slight rash reaction, but I can tell you from a close family member that had alpha-gal, you can have an anaphylactic reaction. So if you get alpha-gal, you have to treat it with quite a bit of respect and keep an EpiPen around. You can, again, do some natural remedies and just really clean eating for quite some time, sometimes years. You can sometimes get alpha-gal to go into remission as well. The tick encounter, let's talk about that. Ticks are often found in the grass and dry leaves. They can fall They can fall on you right from a tree. It's not uncommon for your dog or your cat to carry a few of these unwelcome guests into your house. Just over the 4th of July, I walked through a patch of ticks, and you know, while I was watching the family goof around with fireworks. So it just happens when you are out in the grass. Symptoms of Lyme disease. Some of the classic symptoms are fatigue, headache, joint pain, chills, fever, flu-like symptoms, swollen glands, and rashes. Some of the weird symptoms are twitching and tingling and tremors, anxiety, depression, and sleep problems. And the other one that I think is actually kind of common, I've seen it more than just myself, which I've had Lyme disease as well, is the migrating pain. So in other words, it might feel like your shoulder hurts today, but tomorrow that's gone, and now maybe your knee hurts, and it's just so strange. And that is one of the symptoms of Lyme disease. So what should you do about it? If the bullseye rash is there, go to your doctor and ask for an antibiotic for the Lyme disease. Lyme's testing doesn't, again, test positive until the spirochete has invaded your system quite deeply. By that time, it's kind of late for the antibiotic treatment. This is when we start the herbal treatment for the immune and start immune strengthening foods. Just to give you a little bit of my story, growing up on the farm with ticks and several bites throughout my life, I didn't think that much about it, but 4 years ago I got a tick that left a red welt, and I didn't get antibiotics, and it spread throughout my system. I used natural remedies called Lyme and herbal tinctures, along with a couple of other natural remedies that have made a big difference in my life. Some of the natural remedies that you can do are herbs and vegetables like garlic, onions, steamed vegetables, and bone broth. Then there's other things like colloidal silver. My brother actually used colloidal silver for a year when he had alpha-gal. Chlorella, olive leaf extract, these are things that can strengthen your immune system and help you. In the Lyme EX, I'm going to tell you the herbs that are in there so that if you want to make some herbal teas or just take certain of those herbs, they have red clover. It has red clover, which helps with the blood thinning. It has plantain leaf, which is very high in vitamin C, A, and in calcium. Echinacea has a very positive effect on the immune system, and does help with lowering of blood sugar, reducing feelings of anxiety, and has anti-inflammatory properties. Gucatanga has been used to slow bleeding. So we have red clover, which can thin, and then this herb, which can slow it. So it kind of balances things out. And then your jargon sachet is used to fight viruses. It's widely used for venomous stings and bites like spiders. Mitake is used to increase fatty acids and provide energy in your body. Rue helps with your nerves and your muscles, which that's one of the things that Lyme disease attacks pretty hard, is nerves and muscles. Ginseng is used as a tonic throughout the whole body system to help with weakness, fatigue, and stress. And then a little bit of St. John's wort can help with your mood. Fetagoso helps with lung issues, and licorice can help with stomach issues and restore some balance to your body. The conclusion is that if you get a tick bite that makes a large bullseye, get to the doctor for some antibiotics. If you have a Lyme symptoms after antibiotic use, or use a natural remedy, the Lyme EX, 20 drops twice a day until it's gone. Sometimes you have to repeat it. There's a couple of other remedies I can help you with as well, and I'll put links to those in the description below. Do these things to keep your immune system strong. Whatever you eat really does matter. So eating vegetables and bone broth and just really working on staying healthy, those will help you heal better from Lyme disease and keep that Lyme disease in remission a little longer. And my reference for this were Dr. Berg, Dr. Axe, and Dr. Hyman. And I want to say until next time, folks, be well.